The world tells you there are places you should never visit, dangerous countries, unsafe nations, no-go zones. But here's the question no one asks. Who decides which places are labeled dangerous and why? Because when you look closely, the story isn't really about safety. It's about power, history, and narrative control. For centuries, certain regions of the world have been described the same way: unstable, violent, backwards, unsafe. And most of the time, those places share one thing in common. They were colonized, exploited, or resisted global powers. That's not coincidence. Let's be clear. Yes, a conflict exists in the world. Yes, some regions face real challenges. But the label "don't go there" is often applied unevenly. Some countries with high crime rates are marketed as tourist paradises. Others with lower crime but weaker global influence are labeled too dangerous. Why? Because perception is shaped by who controls the narrative. Take Africa. Many African countries are automatically grouped together as unsafe, even when their crime rates are lower than major cities in Europe or America. Entire nations get reduced to headlines: war, poverty, instability. But rarely do we hear about thriving cities, or growing economies, cultural centers, innovation hubs. Why? Because positive stories don't serve old power structures. Now look at history. The same places labeled dangerous today were once centers of trade, centers of knowledge, centers of wealth. They weren't unsafe then, they were valuable. And when value couldn't be controlled, the narrative changed. Another important truth: travel warnings are not neutral. They are influenced by political relationships, the economic interests, military alliances, media framing. A country can be labeled unsafe not because it's chaotic, but because it's independent, or because it doesn't align with global power blocks. This doesn't mean you ignore safety. It means you ask better questions. Instead of, is this country dangerous? Dangerous for whom? Dangerous compared to where? Based on which data? Team. Who benefits from this label? Now here's the part most people never consider. The "don't visit" label doesn't just affect tourism. It affects investment and education opportunities, global partnerships, how citizens are treated abroad. A narrative becomes a barrier, and once it sticks, it's very hard to remove. Some of the world's most misunderstood places are also the most culturally rich. Places with deep history, strong community values, resilience, creativity. But because they don't control global media, others tell their story for them. And fear sells faster than truth. So when you hear, "don't go there," because often what's really being said is, we don't understand this place. We don't control this place. We don't want you questioning what you've been told. This video isn't telling you where to travel. It's telling you how to think. Because the world isn't divided into safe and dangerous. It's divided into places explained and places misrepresented. History teaches us this clearly. The same regions once called uncivilized were later revealed to be advanced. The same places called poor were once wealthy. The same lands labeled dangerous were once central to global progress. The label changes, the pattern doesn't. So next time you hear a list of places you shouldn't visit, remember, travel warnings can protect, but narratives can also imprison. And the truth is always more complex than a headline. If this video made you rethink what you've been told, like it, share it, and follow for the history and perspectives they never explain. Because understanding the world starts with questioning the story. Part 2 is coming, and it explains how these narratives were created in the first place.